Basketball, a game of giants. When he had to, he knew all the tricks.
Nobody can pass that ball through the heart of the lane. 6. You want to put on a show here.
My God, boys and girls, last night, Joel Embiid, 30-point triple-double. LeBron James experienced his worst loss in his career. The Lakers look very bad, and tonight, heads are going to have to roll. Episode 25, we in the building, Purple and Gold Skies. Welcome back, y'all, to LAKERLAND. I'm your host, moderator, as always, Seven Mitchell. I'm in the building, and y'all see I got the team with me. First of all, y'all see the superstar in the building, ZZ. What's happening, family?
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I cannot wait to talk about this. I cannot wait to talk about this.
You know, you've been trolling. You've been trolling all night. I saw the group chat this morning about all the disrespect you had last night, man. So I'm kind of nervous about the night show, but I know it's going to be a classic one. Of course, we got my brother Hank, the new addition to our LAKERLAND family. Hank, appreciate you coming through tonight. What's happening?
Nothing much. Appreciate y'all having me. Talking these basketballs, and it's the last night of the tournament too.
Yep. Steph about to go for 50.
We got an unbelievable show. Y'all know how we do here at LAKERLAND. Shout out to everybody out there in Lakers Nation. Big up to the NBA community. And, of course, shout out to our Players' Choice family, man. Episode 25 going down tonight. We got an interesting one on deck, man. We got to talk about, of course, the Lakers' big-time loss last night, the way they wet the bed in Philadelphia versus the 76ers. We're going to bust that down and also kind of give a preview of the next upcoming road games for the Lakers, including the OKC Thunder. We got Chet Holmgren versus Anthony Davis coming down the pipeline round 1. Hank, myself, and ZZ is going to break that down. Also, we're going to talk about LeBron James, LBJ. Is he about to make the Lakers break up, man? He has some interesting thoughts about what the Lakers are looking like, and we're going to kind of tap into that. And also tonight, before we end the show, I think, fellas, man, it's only right that we talk about Russell Westbrook and what's going on with the fans, because I'm going to keep it real. I see a little bit of cap in the argument of Russell Westbrook. So we're going to break this whole thing down here at LAKERLAND, man. Salute to everybody that's in the chat. Before we get started, let me shout out our people real quick. Sensation in the building. Salute to you, Sensation, bro. Thank you for joining us as always. We got the big homie Leaf in the building. Leaf, salute to you, dog. Happy holiday. And of course, we got my little bro Cole in the building. Cole, my God. 40K, Cole. 40,000 views, Cole. Shout out to my dog, Cole. Cole, like, what you talking about, Sav? Cole joined me this morning on my show, Best of Seven, and we did a little live stream on Malika Andrews and Josh Giddey. And I had posted a clip on Twitter with Cole and myself just giving our opinions about, you know, the situation at hand. 40,000 views in hours, Cole. We went little viral earlier today, bro. Shit got real crazy on Twitter for the content. So salute to Cole for coming up this morning, giving his opinion, man. It was definitely a good look. But we got to get into last night, boys and girls. Let's talk about it, man. What happened with the Lakers and the 76ers? Did either one of you fellas get to see the game in real time last night?
Go ahead, Hank.
I saw parts. I was flipping back and forth between my other team, you know, who I was watching.
And I had smoke for your boys, but I'm scared about that too. We're going to get into all that. But what was your takeaway, bro, from last night's game? Like, again, it was the poorest performance we've seen from the Lakers. But what was your individual takeaway from last night?
Road woes again. The first quarter, that was the story. The first and the fourth quarter, for some reason, they can't lock in and match the energy of the other team. Of course, in this game, Anthony Davis was getting outplayed by Joel. That's the biggest story to me. Joel was treating him like little brother down there, and
all game.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the main thing. Just for some reason they can't lock in on the road, and that first quarter is what killed them, and especially the last quarter. They only had 14 points or something crazy. So
yeah, they got outscored in the fourth quarter. I think 40-14.
Yeah, something crazy. So
It really wasn't an element last night, boys and girls, that the Lakers didn't screw up. I mean, I didn't catch the game in real time, but when I came in, I saw the fourth quarter box score. And I'm looking at LeBron James with 0 rebounds in the fourth quarter. And I'm like, wait a minute, what is going on? Am I being trolled by ESPN.com? Like, what is this? I really got to talk to the bosses. Bro, this was just a poor, pathetic all across the board. You know, shout out to the Philadelphia 76ers because they was hitting their buckets last night. You know, they were doing their thing from the three-point line. But we were giving those guys wide open shot over wide open shot after wide open shot after wide open shot. There was no effort given by the Lakers. Anthony Davis started off pretty decent in the first quarter, but things just went totally downhill after that. ZZ, did you see the game or were you just laughing at the actual final score?
So I closed last night at work, so I didn't get a chance to watch it even if I wanted to. But
Thank God. Thank God.
I got three notifications while I was at work about the game.
Okay.
Actually four. One when the game started. Two after I think halftime. Three, a notification from I think Instagram with a highlight of I forgot what it was. I think it was Pat Bev and Austin Reeves getting into it. And then the fourth one was the final score. And I just remember being like, damn. Austin Reeves and Pat Bev. Damn, God. So
Pat Bev was like what, 4 of 8 from the 3-point line?
yeah,
in a game where if Patrick Beverly has 4 threes in a game, you can book the win for his team because ain't no way he should have that much confidence instilled into the game to be able to go out there and give you 4 threes while talking shit to the guy y'all just paid.
That was my thing, bro. We know that Beverly is a dog on the defensive end, but like you said, if it ever gets to a point where you see Patrick Beverly on the other end of the basketball court being comfortable, shooting the basketball, and actually being efficient, it's going to be a long night. It's going to be a long night.
And a long night it was. I was laughing my ass off because in the last episode we were debating, Seven. You were telling me how the Warriors were the worst team in the Pacific and how they couldn't get to you can't pull together a string of wins and you don't see other teams falling. And I'm like, bro, I bet. Let's see what happens when the Lakers match up against the MVP of the league and one of the top teams in the East. And 44 points later. Damn. I mean, for this to be LeBron's worst loss of his career is just wild to me. It came on a random Monday night.
On League Pass.
On League Pass.
He is feeling it. He is loving this right now, bro. I am disgusted as easy right now, bro, the way he is loving this. But
pray for the Pistons, though.
There's a fun fact. That I do want to point out. Since ZZ brought up LeBron James, that I did find kind of interesting. Give me a second. Let me see if I can find it. So Michael Jordan, right? I don't know if you saw this on social media, Hank, but Michael Jordan, his biggest blowout loss of his career came back in 2002 versus the Nets when he was with the Wizards. He was 38 years and 333 days old. He finished that game 10-2-1 on 4-14 from the field in a 44-point loss. That was the Michael Jordan. That was his worst career loss versus the Nets. LeBron, 38 years old, 333 days old, and just experienced his worst loss by 44 points as well. So when I saw that fun stat, it was kind of mind-blowing to me, especially when we always having this conversation about MJ and LeBron. But Hank, from what you was able to witness last night versus Philly, was there like one thing that you can kind of identify of what went wrong with LA?
Just they didn't get up for it. Turnovers, number one. That was terrible.
Yes.
And then they didn't really assist the ball well. during the game. But it's just again the second and third quarter was decent. They just didn't show up in that first and that fourth, and that's what cost them the game. But it had a lot to do with Maxey and Embiid, and of course Marcus Morris went off. Forgot to talk about him. I thought they was going to trade him. They might keep him.
I'm just like, man, I'm so tired of talking about the Lakers giving up effort, the Lakers not having effort, turnovers. It's like the same old story with this team, bro. It's like a high and a low. It never fails. And I don't know how we fix this. ZZ, did you see one thing in particular, or once you like recapping and looking at what social media is saying, like, is it one thing that you think the Lakers can fix? Because to me, last night was a whole bunch of stuff.
I mean, yeah, it was a lot of stuff, but the funniest part about it all to me is that I think that they actually watched our show because they probably knew that we were about to have episode 25 and they decided to shoot 25% from three last night. That's crazy. Good Lord. I mean, that's another thing that I didn't told you about that like a few episodes ago. I told you Lakers, if the Lakers are out there trying to act like they're some type of 3-point shooting team, they're not. They're not. They're not. You're right. They're trying to outshoot the 76ers, who have Patrick Beverly on fire, so you know you're cooked at that point. But I mean, Patrick Beverly was on fire. What's his name? D'Anthony Melton was on fire. Obviously, Maxey and Joel both had 30. But I mean, I'm talking about shooting wise. Like, I mean, Nicholas Batum was out there and he gave you 2 threes as well. I mean, so you look at the starting lineup alone. I think I'm looking at the Lakers. They had Taurean Prince with 3 threes, LeBron with 1, D'Angelo Russell with 1. So the starters combined gave you 4 3-pointers. The starters combined for the Sixers, 2, 4, 9. So, I mean, like, once again, the Lakers are not. They're not a jump shooting. They're not a 3-point shooting team. If they want to be a jump shooting team, it's going to fall at the hands of LeBron. But 3-point shooting, 3-point shootouts, that's not their game. They gotta. But like you said, they were missing, key pieces, which I think is scarcely enough going to end up being a running theme with this team this year is them missing pieces. Because I feel like this season we're going to hear either the Lakers are missing key rotational pieces and guys like Cam Reddish and Rui Hachimura, or they're going to be missing key fundamental pieces in AD or LeBron with their injuries. But I think that one of those two things or both are going to be a running narrative for this team. Laker fans are going to just keep saying we didn't have enough or we didn't have, which is scary. So, and Darvin Ham might get fired for real soon.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started on that terrorist. We're going to get into that. I'm keep it real though. I'm going to blame Bobby because Bobby Crockett is right. This is all Bobby's fault because Sunday he was in the live chat basically jinxing the purple and gold. But I also co-signed with Bobby because I felt like, and I said this, I think the Philadelphia game is going to be real instrumental because not only is it a road game, the Sixers have been playing very well so far this year. And they don't have that locker room problem that they had when James Harden was in uniform. How bad, Hank, did Anthony Davis look? Or how exposed did Anthony Davis look last night, losing to Embiid, getting beat up by Embiid the way he did? Did AD get exposed, bro, or was this just a bad night?
I mean, he's playing center again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he was going to get exposed. He can't play against those big guys like Embiid. Embiid and Jokic, he's going to get exposed. If he goes against someone that's a little bit smaller, he's going to play extra well. Like, again, this next game, I expect AD to have about 50 and 25 and 15. But, yeah, that's the biggest problem. Playing that center position against someone like Embiid, he's not going to do well at all. That's when he need to shoot 6 threes, like Darvin Ham said. Move it out. Bring him out some and let guys try to drive off of the pick.
Mm-hmm.
Unreal, bro. What about you, ZZ? As far as AD go, did he get exposed last night, bro?
I mean, in a way, yeah, because like when we talk about AD, we put him in a conversation, or people try to put him in a conversation with Jokic and Embiid. Like, those are the 2 best bigs in the league. And then there's AD, like, sneaking right outside. Like, he's right there. And we're trying to put him in there. but we got to see how he looks against these guys. And it's a matter of, it's the same exact thing we do with Jokic and Joel. That's what they were doing back when everybody was confused on who was better. Everybody was actually wondering, do you value Joel Embiid's defense, or do you value Jokic's overall playmaking abilities at center? So, and then when you look at, how the season progressed last year, Jokic started kind of running away with it because it was more and more consistent dominance from Nikola Jokic than we were seeing from any of the other centers in the league. Match that with the fact that Joel Embiid this season is still putting up an MVP caliber season, dropping 30-point triple-double in 3 quarters. So now AD, the pressure is on him because you look at Joel and you look at Jokic and you say, they're giving it to you consistently night in and night out, win, lose, or draw. They're still giving it to you. Jokic had 38 right after he had took that loss, I think, to the Rockets. So the point being is that Anthony Davis is the 3rd best center in the league and has been for the last few seasons. And we've been trying to make a case for him to be there because he has one. All the talent in the world on the offensive end. You could argue that he has more talent on the offensive end than the other two. But the problem is consistency, especially when you're matching up with the other two guys. Joel Embiid went out there, and like I said in the last show, Joel's going to get his. Anthony Davis has to stay out of foul trouble. He did that, but every team turns into the prime Warriors when they go up against the Lakers from 3 for some reason. Especially the good ones, or like the almost good ones, like the midway ones. They just arrive. So I don't know if that's the Lakers just suck or they got bad luck.
2 things. First of all, you're very disrespectful for making it seem like being the 3rd best center in a league of 30-something teams is a bad thing. Let's not do that no more, because you're trying to play AD because he's quote unquote the 3rd best center. Like, that's a bad thing. So I don't like that. Number 1. Number 2, because you always do that, bro. And it's just like, I will agree with you with one thing, with the whole Joel Embiid and Jokic thing. But let's go smaller than that. What about Sabonis? Has Sabonis not also exposed AD?
You're right. Which makes me the 4th best center in the league. Damn, it's crazy.
Now see, now you playing. Now
it's style
he's
of play.
Playing.
Style of play.
So let's talk briefly about the fix. How does the Lakers make this work? Because once we have something like this go down, the first thing that happens in the NBA is everyone is screaming trade, right? Here's a proposal that keep coming up under the rug with the Chicago Bulls. Reports are now that the Bulls want Austin Reeves in a package for Zach LaVine. This is a proposal by Basketball Forever, as they broke down an example. And I know we done spoke on this many a times, but coming off of a loss like the Lakers did last night, ZZ, is Zach LaVine the answer to the problems for the Lakers?
No, like there's much. It's not. I don't think it's as simple as everybody thinks that it is. Like, it's only going to be some star package trade where you get a guy like a Zach LaVine, and then you add in Caruso, which is like cool. You have another perimeter defender, but I mean, is that really enough for this team when you really look at it? What you're giving up? You're giving up Austin Reeves. You're giving up Rui Hachimura. You're giving up D'Lo. As much as I shit on D'Lo on a daily basis, if you can put him in the right role as a role player for a team, he can help you more than he can hurt you. Especially if you factor in the fact that you're looking at the 3 guys that are getting traded. The best defender out of the 3 of them is Rui Hachimura. A second would maybe be D'Lo. Because Austin Reeves is just not that guy defensively, but he still gives a lot of effort. He's more of a grit and grind, dive on the floor type of player than a defensive, But so when you look at all that and you say you're getting rid of all that to bring in a Zach LaVine, who's another scoring option for the team. He can create his own shot, yes, but he can't give you the defense that Rui does. Caruso can. If you plug him into the corner for a 3-point shot, he might hit some, whatever. But is that really enough to answer all of the problems? You got to factor in a little bit of health with Zach LaVine. You got to factor in a little bit of help with Caruso even too. So I don't think that that's enough to move the chains for the team to go on some spectacular run when all you're left with is I mean, you still have Vando's defense, but you've seen them in the playoffs. Sometimes they don't even know when to play him. Like, so I don't think it's enough. I just don't.
Word. Tony Wiley in the building. Tony said the Lakers are a true disgrace. It is time to rebuild ASAP. Salute to Tony. So, Hank, let me ask you, bro, what did last night's loss say to you about the Lakers as a team?
I don't know. Again, I'm basing it off last year, so they are better. But that last loss was horrible. They cannot lose like that. 44-point loss is a disgrace, as he's saying. That trade, if that trade is to help them on road, because you'll get two great players, then yes. And I guess we could trust Rob Pelinka to rebooster that roster. He's done it the last couple times, but then again, you got to build the camaraderie and chemistry back. So that's a problem. So they just have to, maybe it's coaching, getting the right systems in play so that this team can flow the way it's supposed to, so they don't go out on the road and lose by 44 points.
Got you. Lakers right now, currently in the Pacific Division, is in third place. They sitting at 10-8 on the year. They're a game and a half back of the Phoenix Suns in the division. They're in 8th place overall. Like Hank said at the beginning of the show, man, it's just a bunch of road woes for the Lakers. You see, they are 3-6 right now on the season, playing on the road, and it continues on tomorrow night with Hank's team out in Detroit. We got the Pistons versus the Lakers tomorrow. And Hank, I watched, is Monty Williams y'all head coach?
Yeah, Monty.
He was talking about how the Detroit Pistons today in practice was giving maximum effort. 6-7 guys diving on the floor for loose balls. He said he saw things from the Detroit team in practice that he hadn't seen all season. And that scared the hell out of me, knowing that they got the Lakers tomorrow, because the Lakers for a lot has always played down to the competition. I'm actually giving your Detroit Pistons a shot to win tomorrow night. How do you call tomorrow's game between your Pistons and LeBron and the struggling Lakers, bro?
They're struggling a lot worse than the Lakers, and Lakers got a lot more pieces right now to get the win. Those guys are young in Detroit. The Lakers can't go out there and take them for granted, but I believe
that's what they do, though. That's what the Lakers have been doing, taking people for granted. Teams that they supposed to beat up on, they play down to the level of competition.
Yeah, I don't think that if Anthony Davis playing, he's going to be easy for him to cook, and LeBron should show out as well if he plays as well. So I don't see them losing to the Pistons. It's probably the next game. Isn't that a back-to-back? That's probably going to be the problem. The Pistons should be easy for them.
That is the first of the back-to-back, because they got Chet Holmgren and the OKC Thunder on Thursday night in OKC. We're going to talk about that briefly. But, clearly this is a game that LA should win tomorrow night versus the Detroit Pistons. ZZ, do you give the Pistons any chance to win, just basically because we done seen how lackluster our Lakers have been when it comes to effort?
No, like the Lakers, more specifically LeBron, in response game situations, I just think that in this one, he's probably going to tell them, do not take this team for granted. Like, do not let us end up on another, news headline for losing in embarrassing fashion to a team that we should have beat, or at least been in competition with. But
yep.
So I don't see them losing. I think AD should be able to cook. I think LeBron should be able to cook. I think that the Pistons, I mean, like Hank said, they got way more to worry about than the Lakers do. They 14 games deep in the actual before they can actually become a good contending team in the Eastern Conference, let alone in the play-in. But damn, like this team, I was rooting for them to beat the Wizards the other night. I was hoping for it. But then it was another terrible Jordan Poole performance, and the Wizards were able to actually scrap through and win that joint. So that's the only reason why I watch the Wizards. I don't even watch them to see them win. I watch them to see how bad Jordan Poole plays. But Yeah. So the Lakers should be able to cook.
Right.
LeBron and AD specifically.
I mean, the Pistons are 4-31 in the last 35 games, something like that. So yeah,
Yeah, and
really
they ain't
easy.
won in they haven't won at all in this month. So that's very bad.
But see, this is the thing, fellas. To me, it's not so much about Detroit. It's about the Lakers. It's about what we consistently don't do when it's up to us to handle our business. And I just feel like, and I don't want LeBron and the Lakers coming out early, blowing Detroit up, winning by 20 or 30, and then sticking their chest out like they really did something. Because LeBron has been famous to do that too. Win a game versus a team who ain't really about nothing and then act like he really did something. So, I don't want to see that. But to me, bro, even though it's Detroit, it's a must win because you got OKC, and then you come home, you got the Rockets. That's your third time the Rockets have gotten to see you so far. So the Lakers literally could be losing 3-4 in a row. I hate to say it, but just being optimistic, I'm just not really impressed, bro, with how this thing is going down, man. I just got to keep it real. And Detroit, what's the best thing, Hank, that you think your team has as far as Detroit? What's the best thing that they got going?
They got a bunch of young guys. Cade, obviously. You got Marcus Sasser, the rookie who's playing amazing. They benched Jaden Ivey for him. He got a beef with Monty for some reason. I don't know what it is. I think they're saying defensive effort and mistakes. And then you've got what's the guy's name? The twin, Thompson.
Sure.
Yeah, he's playing well. They compared him to a young Dennis Rodman. They got a good team, but they're just young and they make a lot of mistakes right now. So, but if you watch the games, they do stay in most games. They really haven't gotten blown out. It's just that the mistakes they make cost them games. Late turnovers, sloppy turnovers, not executing like they were supposed to and hitting shots and free throws. So beyond that, they're in games, and I've seen them come back on teams and almost win. I think it was Denver that came back on late in the game. So the Lakers cannot be lackadaisical and think that they're just going to get this easy win. They're going to have to put the pressure on them from start to finish and get the win.
They need to win by 44. Then I might lay off them.
So if they blow out Detroit, then what? Are you going to feel like, does the Lakers have a right to feel like they did something blowing out Detroit after getting their ass whipped by Philly?
Do they have the right to feel like they can poke their chest out after beating a team that would then be on a 15-game losing streak?
Exactly.
I don't think so. Because then they got to turn right back around and run up against some young guys with a little bit more talent, and SGA and Chet and the Williams boys and Lou Dort and all and then after that they got to turn around and see Jalen Green, Jabari Smith Jr. They got to see all them boys, Dylan Brooks, they got to see all of them. So the Lakers, they need to, if they want to at least get a little bit of the noise off of them, the game better not be close tomorrow. If they win, they need to be 20 to 25 plus blowout in order for me to be like, oh, all right, they taking this seriously. They figuring something out. They all locked in with what they have.
All right, people, this is LAKERLAND, episode 25. We are in the building. Do us a huge favor, y'all. Smash that like button for us. If you guys are new to the Players Choice platform, make sure y'all subscribe and also become a member. Join the membership of the Players Choice platform. We got a lot of content every day, all day, man. Shout out to our Players Choice family. We got so much on deck. Ending this road trip, I guess we can get into our next topic because I wanted to kind of isolate this. We do have the OKC Thunder Thursday night, 5:00 p.m. in Oklahoma City. This is going to feature round one between Anthony Davis and Chet Holmgren. Now, right now, fellas, both of these guys are doing their thing on the defensive end of the court. As you can see, when we talk about the NBA block leaders, AD right now is the number 2 on the average, and Chet is not far behind at number 4. So these guys have definitely held defense, have impact so far this season. Are you excited, Hank, to see this Chet Anthony Davis matchup this week? does it actually project to actually mean something and possibly show some good one-on-one basketball?
Yeah, I mean for television, I guess. I mean he's a veteran compared to the rookie.
Yeah.
Um, he should take advantage of it, and he's got to pretty much show out for this bad performance he had against Embiid. But definitely for the namesake, for sure, it should be a good showdown.
What about you, ZZ? Good showdown going down between AD and Chet. Like, what are you expecting to see between those two?
I'm expecting to see, like Hank said, or like he alluded to, like the veteran versus the rookie. Like the AD set the tone like so far, I think, to start off the season in terms of how this depoy race is gonna probably end up panning out.
Mhm.
Um, and Chet has helped with that, setting his own tone or kind of carving his own way into it. So it should be a showdown. I don't think it's gonna be a showdown between just like two defensive, like I don't think it's gonna be too defensive oriented, but like it's gonna be more so AD is gonna have to probably drop 30, and Chet's gonna have to show out too. Like both these guys are capable of having big games. So it's a matter of if both of them are gonna have it or one of them's gonna outstage the other, basically.
What problem does one give the other, Hank? When we talk about this one-on-one matchup, and I don't know how long or how many times, how often they will match up one-on-one in this game coming up Thursday. But what does Chet have that gives AD problems, you think, and vice versa? What does AD bring to the table that you think may be an issue for Chet on Thursday?
Well, shoot, I'm sorry. Yeah, for AD, I think this is the game where he can be the big brother like Joel Embiid did to him, and take it Chet down to the post and get expose him down there. But I believe for Chet overall, one-on-one, I think he could, for his youth and experience, his youthfulness, he should be able to take advantage of AD with that and jump shooting. I believe his jump shooting is a little bit better than AD at this point.
Yeah, I agree. What about the supporting cast, ZZ? What do you think about OKC as a team, LA, the Lakers as a team? Who has the better supporting cast? Is it Chet Holmgren or Anthony Davis?
I'd say Chet Holmgren. I think one reason is because the Lakers don't even have their full supporting cast. And then the other reason is that the Thunder's supporting cast is not only younger, but have kind of had a little bit more time playing together and, developing that chemistry and all of the things that they need to really be able to stand out. What's that dude's name? Isaiah Joe, cold as hell.
Mhm.
So they just have like a lot of like just not really household names, but names in which you get put on notice after the first time you watch them play, and then you see where they fit into their team and stuff like that. The Lakers have a bunch of the Lakers are different. They have more household names, especially off the bench or in their rotational pieces, to where you're like, oh, I see why they're on this team, but we haven't really been able to see them have an impact with the team because most of them have been injured so far to start. But yeah.
It's just so mind-blowing, bro, to think that we about 20 games into the season, fellas, and the OKC Thunder is the second best team in the Western Conference. And it's not like a fluke. These guys are the real deal. They're not the best team in the West. I don't think that they are going to threaten anybody for a championship right now. But when you look at what they got going on, they 11-5 on the year. They are 6-1 on the road. They play way better on the road than they do at home. They're only a game over 500 at home, but they are a game back from first place in the entire Western Conference behind the Minnesota Timberwolves. So, I'm just like tripping on how well OKC with this youth has gelled, and it's producing into wins. You know what I mean? It's not just that the OKC Thunder now have a good culture for basketball. These guys are winning games.
No cap.
No cap, bro. So, I am definitely excited, and I can't wait to see again what these guys bring to the defensive end of the court Thursday night, bro. I think that's really going to determine who is going to win this game. Defense is going to win this game between the Lakers and the OKC Thunder. Hank, who do you feel like has the best supporting cast? Is it Anthony Davis or Chet Holmgren?
I like OKC's depth. They're pretty good right now, young fellas. Um, they're showing out right now. I'm gonna say at this point, I'm gonna go with OKC. They're playing really well together.
Predictions, fellas. Thursday night, Lakers versus the Thunder. Who wins and why? Hank, I'll start off with you, bro.
Thursday night game. Who we got?
The Thunder and the Lakers, AD versus Chet. Who wins the game and why?
I want to say Lakers. I just don't know how they're going to respond after that back-to-back. We know how they are on the road. But I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna say the experience of AD, and I think that LeBron is going to have them guys ready for that Thursday night game. I think the AD matchup, he's going to win it, and that's going to be the key for them to win on Thursday night.
BA says OKC can win a chip this season. Really? ZZ, you find any credibility in that? You think the Thunder could find their way into the finals this year?
I think the Thunder can find their way into the second round for sure. I don't think that I think SGA come playoff time will be a dog and show up and step up and do his thing. But I don't trust Josh Giddey, not just because of the situation right now. But it'll be kind of a new experience for them, even making it into the second round. Like Chet, it'll be his first experience to the postseason. The Williams boys, Lou Dort, they're gonna have to all be in full effect and on deck at all times on a consistent level. And I just don't think that this season will be the season, but I see them winning over 50 games. Like I see that for sure. I see them being not a playing team. I see them being higher than honestly, I see them the highest I can see them is probably the 3 seed by the end of the year.
Really? That's a lot to ask for a team that hasn't been proven.
When I think back to the Thunder culture in general, people at the time thought the same thing about KD, Russ, and Harden when they were first getting cooking. But at the start, they were winning a lot of regular season games. The formula of whatever that was working for them, they figured it out, and it amounted in them getting high seeds. And then year by year, we saw them kind of tribble and dabble through the playoffs until they figured out, okay, we can make it to the second round. We can make it to the Western Conference Finals. We can make it to the NBA Finals. And then they blew up ship with James Harden. But at the same time, we saw the foundation kind of being built, and I see that same foundation being kind of renewed with SGA, Chet, and you could say Josh Giddey, but if he ain't gonna be there in the long haul, or if his outside the court stuff, makes his way onto the court, Lou Dort can take that step up. They have options at least for, if not a big three, a young core that's the best in the league, like that is amounting to multiple wins. So I can see that. I see that. I just trust the Thunder culture more than I trust like the process of Philadelphia in the last 3 years. But whatever,
I think round one, even though Oklahoma City does not play well at home, and I'm always going to root for my Lakers, but just realistically, this is going to be a very tough game for the Lakers to win. There's no answers for what we dealt with last night. They're now about to face a team tomorrow who's playing with house money. And that Thursday game, bro, it's just like when we look at the big names that Anthony Davis had to face one-on-one with the Embiids, the Jokers, the Sabonises, he's kind of got outplayed. And I'm not saying that Chet Holmgren is ready right now, but we can't absolutely say that he's not because we haven't seen it yet. So Anthony Davis has to come on his A game. But I'm so sick and tired, fellas, of us having the same old dialogue about LeBron and AD. What the hell was the point of this roster if we're still reliant on those same two guys night in and night out to win us bullshit ass games? Like, I feel like it has to stop. It has to step up, or something needs to happen. Like we just need some type of dramatic change in Los Angeles. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I just can't put my finger on what the problem is, bro.
It might start with.
Did y'all hear what LeBron James said?
No,
What you say?
Mm-mm.
I didn't hear
said
it. Go ahead.
I said it might start with Darvin Ham being the first one to go. But what did LeBron say? What did he say this time?
They asked LeBron if he could identify what was wrong with the Lakers. And this man summed it up with one word, bro.
Everything.
He said a lot.
Oh.
And y'all know, history shows when this man has a problem with the roster, when that man has a problem with the roster gets changed. LeBron James is not going to hesitate to put his 2 cents in about a lineup or a roster being, reconstructed for good or bad. We done seen it time and time again. And his comments today, he said, here we go. And they killed me. They killed me in the comments about Kobe Bryant. Unbelievable.
Don't play with Kobe.
Yeah, I see
told you
Kobe
not to play with
stands.
Kobe.
Y'all is ridiculous. But yeah, man, the way LeBron had answered that, bro, I immediately felt like, yeah, none of these guys are safe. We will definitely see a different team in purple and gold before the trade deadline. Do you see any a realistic change, Hank, or do you think that the Lakers are going to go down with this ship?
I'm gonna think that they're gonna go down with the ship because it looks like these last few years they've been pushing back on Brown a little bit, especially after the Russell Westbrook thing. If that was him, they're saying it wasn't him. But ever since that trade, it seems like they've been pushing back on a lot of stuff that he really wants. So I'm gonna say they're gonna keep it this the same unless they go on some type of big slide.
So I guess we're going to give up we're giving up on the Lakers getting Title 18 this season, right? Because there's no way in hell they're going to win the Larry O'Brien Trophy with this roster. It's not going to happen.
What about your what about your man LeBron? Why can't he be superhero LeBron and win him another championship and add to his legacy?
Now, the bad part about that is, since you want to be so disrespectful, if LeBron if he was to be a superhero and if he was to get the 5th championship, y'all still would come up with another reason why he's still not the greatest of all time. So it really wouldn't even matter. In my opinion, if he was to get the Larry O'Brien Trophy, y'all still would find a way to downplay this man in year 21.
I think that if year 21 Braun with this roster is able to win the NBA championship, I will personally crown him as my GOAT. I got him at number 2 all the time. But I will personally crown him as the greatest player greatest player of all time for me. Because not to mention the fact that it's already amazing what we're seeing so far from this nigga in the regular season. And it's also incredible what we saw in the playoffs last year, even though the shooting wasn't really all the way there. Just the moments that this man had in the postseason was pretty remarkable for somebody in year 20. Greatest thing we've ever seen from somebody at year 20. So, once again, and the fact that I've told you on numerous occasions since the season started, LeBron is still the best player on his team. Still is. Now, is that a problem? Maybe. But is it a fact? Yeah, it's what it is. The fact of the matter is he is the best player on this team still, even though he tried to hand the keys to AD before the season started. And once again, we are
AD is not built like that. AD is not, I don't care. He's never, ever, ever going to be built like that to be the number one that's going to take you to a title. It's just not.
I just think that we're at a point now where we got to take AD for what he is or whatever if he's on the court to play or not. Like, it's just, we know what we're going to get from the defensive side of the ball. That's not really an issue. But they were talking about it on the panel earlier too. And my whole thing is this, like with AD. AD's thing is, like, is he having a good season so far? Sure. Is he having a season of somebody that is a top 5 player in the game? No. He's not. And this is somebody
not every night.
And it's the thing, not every night. That's the exact way to put it. Not every night. And when you talk about top 5 players in the game, I think to Even LeBron, I can throw him into the mix just off the top of my head. But LeBron is going to bring it, if not every night, most nights. Steph, if not every night, most nights. KD, same thing. Luka, Jokic, even Joel, Jason Tatum this season, and last season. But the point of the matter is that when you are able to separate that tier of players from everyone else, you see who the real guys are, and you see who the guys that you may want to be the real guys are. But in reality, you got to take them for what they are at the end of the day. With Anthony Davis, he is not, like Seven said, not the guy, not the number one guy on the championship team, especially at this point in his career. They tried it earlier in his career when he was back with New Orleans, pairing him with DeMarcus Cousins and giving him Drew Holiday, Rondo, and all them boys. But, you knew back then it wasn't going to be enough. You knew that. You knew going into the postseasons back then it wasn't going to be enough. So now you factor in the fact that you have a LeBron James, 40 years old, 21. Championship 18 is the only thing on his mind. You know that. It's the only thing on Laker fans' mind. You know that. But
that's
AD is just not bringing it every single night like LeBron is. And if he was, they'd be the best duo in basketball, bar none. It wouldn't even be a topic of discussion for anybody else.
But I do want to be clear before we jump to the next topic. I'm not saying that Anthony Davis should be expendable. I still feel like Anthony Davis is a very pivotal piece into the Lakers being successful. I don't necessarily feel like he's the A, but he's definitely needed and mandatory in order for the Lakers to be successful. I don't see them being able to part ways with him and them being able to still cover ground. So, Hank, would you still say that Anthony Davis, even though we're kind of questioning what we're seeing on a night in, night out basis, would you still consider AD untouchable?
I think we said this before. There's only a couple people that he would be untouchable for in that position. That would be with Embiid and Jokic. And you're not getting those guys.
Right.
So he's definitely untouchable. You'd have to get a crazy trade, but you can't do that. That's fantasy land. So he's untouchable. Him and Bron.
All right.
All right, man. This is LAKERLAND episode 25. We are moving it here, man. Make sure, again, you guys smash that like button for us. We're about to get into our next topic of discussion real briefly, man. Let's get into our roles and responsibilities segment, man. Every episode, we're going to kind of lock in briefly with one of the Lakers guys and talk about what their upcoming roles and responsibilities should be. This Tuesday, we're going to tap in with ZZ's guy, D'Angelo Russell. Now, D-Lo on the years, boys and girls, is averaging 17, 3, and 6 assists on the season. We've seen a lot of up and down shooting from D'Angelo Russell. ZZ, I know you're so critical on this guy. What do you think D'Angelo's role and responsibility should be? I'm going to make it short. Let's say these next 5 games. Seeing how the Lakers played, what would you like to see from D'Angelo Russell in the next 5 games?
Honestly, the same thing that we're getting, it would be fine. It would be enough for me not to bash this nigga. But if he could, up it a little bit, knocking down more threes or whatever, because on the season, he isn't playing bad. It's just when you look at the losses, he's not even playing bad. He's doing what you would expect D'Lo to do, not doing too much, kind of staying out the way, but still being able to find a way to get his own. So, there's nothing more that you could really say, unless you could say that if you look at his stats so far in the season, he looks good for a trade. Look at what we got over here with D'Angelo Russell, but it's not there's nothing more that he can really do in order for me to say bench him or anything. He's doing everything in his power to keep just being consistent. That's the only thing that I've asked from him. And the only reason I'm hard on D'Lo is because I like D'Lo. I've always loved D'Lo ever since he was in LA the first time. I was like, oh, the kid's got a lot of talent for sure.
Right.
When he was with the Nets and he led them to the playoffs and he was going on that crazy run, got himself an all-star nod. I loved it. And over the years, I've said the same thing about D'Lo. He can help a team. He's just got to stay consistent. And maybe this isn't the right team for him. Who knows? Maybe the pressure is too much to play alongside Bron and AD and be all over in the Laker, aura and propaganda again. But he isn't doing anything wrong so far this season. He's making a solid case to get traded if the Lakers keep losing games. But other than that, he's just gonna have to keep balling out. It's that simple.
Word. Shout out to our PC brother J Rob in the building. Make sure if you guys love sports, of course, y'all here, man. Do not go nowhere after Lakerland. We got By Any Means coming up later on tonight. I believe start time might be, I don't know if it's 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern, but they are tapping in tonight. So make sure that y'all show support to my brothers J Rob and the gang with By
Yes,
Any
sir.
Means going down tonight. Hank, when we talk about role and responsibilities for D-Lo for the next 5 games, bro, what would your expectations be, family?
Like you're saying, Zizi was saying he's got to be consistent. And this season, he's not doing too bad. I think, like you're saying, I can see the star potential in him. And I think everyone could see that. He felt like he'd be a number one option, but with playing behind AD and LeBron, it should be easier for him. But it seems like it's not necessarily. But we need him to step up offensively. Really, just if he can get those 30-point games, it would be very nice if he can go for an explosion, which we know he's due for, which he did when he first got traded last year, and that's what he helped them make the playoffs. But that's what I'm expecting from him, to really just go off starting tomorrow. Yeah, get his rhythm in and just really just go at it. But I know the road is really his detriment. He's very good at home, but on the road he does struggle a lot by the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Tank in the building. Salute, Tank. My thoughts about D-Lo when we talk about responsibilities and roles for these next 5 games, bro. Like, y'all guys hit it on the head, talking about consistency and stuff like that from a shooting aspect. When I watch D'Angelo Russell play, bringing the basketball up the court, slashing around, like, I love the way he controls the tempo of the basketball court. The only thing that I would like to see D-Lo be is a little bit more aggressive when we talk about driving to the cup. He seems to be aggressive when it comes to a lot of pull-up perimeter jump shooting, and he hit buckets, but I want to see him drive more, be way more aggressive, open it up for these big men, because I think he's a good slasher, and it'll definitely open up doors for the big guys. So I just want to see him be a little bit more aggressive on the offensive end, not necessarily scoring more, but just being more of a threat. You understand what I'm saying? Not just facilitating everything at the top of the key. I need him to really get in there and open some things out for some guys to get some kick out easier baskets.
I feel you on that.
For sure. All right, people. Last topic on tonight. This is Lakerland. This is the last topic of the night, man. Let's switch gears. Let's go over to the other locker room in LA. Let's talk about Russell Westbrook real quick, man. I don't know exactly what happened in the game in Denver, but Russell Westbrook had some back and forth with a fan from the Nuggets, and, they asked him about it afterwards. And, Russell Westbrook, he's dealt with so much over the years when it comes to fans, and it seems like he's fed up. He said he's not accepting it anymore. His son is now of age where he can understand things, and he's just not going to tolerate any disrespect. Hank, what's your thoughts about the vibes of Russell Westbrook in these situations with the fans?
I don't understand it with Russell with this fan stuff. I mean, unless they're, attacking your family or there's some type of racial thing going on. I think that happened in Utah. Beyond that, it's fair game. The fans are supposed to say things to get under your skin. If they're saying Westbrook, how is that affecting you? Like, I mean, I understand when like the commentators do it or whatever, but when the fans do it, that shouldn't be a problem. He should be focusing on what he needs to do to help to get his teams the W.
I smell a rat, yo. I smell a rat, bro. Drop a bomb for Russell Westbrook being a damn rat. Because check this out. I find it so hard to believe, and Hank, you alluded to it. I find it so hard to believe that this guy is the guy that continuously keep having these type of issues, but yet he never really wants to put out there what was said. I feel like he is trying to push some type of agenda on purpose. I think he's forcing a lot of this stuff. I don't think these fans, and fans can be very disrespectful, but I think any little thing that is said to Russell Westbrook, he tries to take it to the next level, and he's trying to, I feel like, get to a point where they really do crack down on the fans. And I respect what he's trying to do. And I respect that there is definitely a problem. But I don't really think Westbrook is being totally honest in some of these situations, fellas, about what's actually happening. And then he talking like he about to pull a strap out and like shoot somebody, or like he really going to take it there with somebody. Like, should the NBA step in with Russell Westbrook and maybe have a conversation with him about how he said he's going to be reacting?
I mean, with Russ, he's always been like this. Like, even back when I was in like middle school and when he was with OKC, he would always get into it with fans. And it's because like Russ is a great human being, like wonderful outside of basketball. Like, there's more to him than just, being Mr. Triple Double and all that. Like, he's very like charitable, all that, like great guy. That's one of the reasons why I love Russ, is because I was always intrigued by the fact that he puts on this face of like this tough, angry at the world, waking up on the wrong side of the bed or on the floor type of person. And I was just like, but he's actually really nice off the court. The problem is that a lot of NBA fans, and like you alluded to, like, what's the problem with it? It's basketball. It happens. You ask JJ Redick, a guy that played at Duke, right? Yeah. The names that motherfucker was getting, that man was getting called back when he was playing in college. And I know this from being at Longwood, and like when we were in the Big South tournament, the crowd, when we were playing at home, we were ruthless. Like, you go to away crowds,
savages.
They say, especially college crowds, they're worse because they find out information on you that you didn't even think was public knowledge, right? One time we was in the student section, somebody had found out that one of the players on the court had a baby, and they was throwing, like, it's just like they get real wicked out there, real savagery out there. Like, it's like, that's how it is. So when you look at the NBA and you think about certain players that, in Russell Westbrook's case, you look at him in his last 10 games.
You should feel like it's expected.
He's averaging,
you should feel like it's expected.
5 assists, 6 rebounds, 38% from the field, and 18% from three. So in his last 10, he hasn't really been playing the best. And that you can maybe place the blame on James Harden. Most people would. I might do it too. But the fans are going to pick up on that. And they've been picking up on it ever since he went to LA and he started having really, really, really bad games, eye-soaring games. So the fuel is already there. What you do as a player is you quiet the noise, like Klay Thompson did last year for portions of the regular season. But after Klay started hitting, you started to hear less heckling. You started to see less Instagram comments that were calling him washed and overrated. You saw more support. And that's the same thing with Russ. If Russ has one good game, you see so much support for him overnight. All Russ haters, or half of them, become Russ fans. And it's weird. The media will, on first take, you see Russell Westbrook, you see, just give him some time. That's the only way you combat this, is by playing well, I feel like. And then your problems will go away, unless it's racially motivated or threatening to your family.
That's the same.
All right, people, that's a wrap, man. Episode 25 is officially in the books here at LAKERLAND, man. Do remember to join us every Tuesday, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern, as well as our full 2-hour show every Sunday, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern, live in full effect here at Players Choice. Hope you guys have a safe week. Shout out to my guys ZZ and Hank. Y'all got anything y'all want to get off y'all chest before we sign off for the night?
Just tune into the channel on mine. I post all frequently, and I got my live show on Friday, 6 p.m.
Make sure y'all check out Sports Game Vision. Check me out at Best of 7 Sports Talk. ZZ.
And follow me on TikTok. I will be posting more content there. I have basketball content that I post all the time. I think over like 60K followers, so fuck with me on there. Steph Curry 50-piece incoming tonight. You heard it here first. If not that, then that beam will not be lit by the end of the night. Y'all have a good one.
We got to get up out of here. It's our time, man. Y'all stay safe, and we will catch you guys on Sunday for the next episode of LAKERLAND. Salute to you guys, man. We are out. Peace.
Salute.